Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Tim Keys. It's been a while, but I'm back, and I wanted to come on here and talk about Osmium from Reason. It is a distortion unit, multi-band distortion effects unit to be exact, with a lot of different features. Now, I have to say, like, when Reason Studios was making a lot of, you know, doing a lot of anticipation-based marketing for this device, I was kind of on the fringes, especially considering the fact that we had Omnisphere that just came out last week. Falcon also came out with an update last week. We also had the MPC3 that was just released a couple weeks back. And then last week, M Music also released their version of Roland's SH101 in plug-in format, and so did Roland Cloud. And Roland also released their hardware update, or not update, their new hardware, the TR1000. And so it's just been a lot of stuff that's come out. And so I'm like, all right, Reason, what are we doing? What are we bringing to the table? And they went a different direction and gave us a nice effects unit. And I would say if you're a Reason user, I think it's worth checking out. Now, just wanted to give a disclaimer. I am not an expert on using this device because I just downloaded it today. But from what I can tell you right off the back, it is fairly useful for, just being really creative with the sound that you have. It's a great complement to the rack extensions already in Reason and anything else that you might have. And I'll tell you why. So you get 4 different distortion-based units. If I click on here, you have saturation, overdrive, wave folder, bit crush. But then you also have some different options for your filters and EQs, like a multi-mode filter, a morphing filter, which is very nice, a parametric EQ, a resonator, a cabinet with so many different models of cabinets to pick from, as well as the impulse responses that I think you can add to it. You have some basic effects like your feedback. You have a pitch shifter, which is nice because that's going to give you some additional flexibility, and a delay. And then you can also import external stuff, external sources to this device, and do some further sound processing. So I think this is pretty cool for what it is, and it's only $50 right now. It's $50 right now until December 1st, and if you're on the fringes, you can try it out for 30 days by going into the rack extension store and doing the trial run, which is exactly what I'm doing. Without further ado, let's get started. I'm probably going to play with some presets. I might do a trial run where I try to set up something. That might not turn out too well because I've done a couple shoots of this already, and I'm, as I've played with this device, it's been like, oh, wait a minute. All right, I definitely have to sit and get into it. But there's some cool features. So right now I'm working with Algorithm, and Algorithm has some great sounds. By the way, I don't have a MIDI controller in front of me. I'm mainly just using the keys on the keyboard. So everything's going to be in the key of C. I'm not going to try to be fancy with it. Like any good distortion unit, a lot of things in terms of the output is going to be contingent on what you're trying to go for and the sound source you're using. So you can use a distortion effect unit for a lot of different things in terms of the application. Pads, leads, keys, basses, pretty much whatever you want to use it on to create and shape your sound. I primarily use a lot of distortion for basses and leads to get that high-end screeching sound, or if I want to add harmonics to my basses. And you're going to find enough of that here. Right now, I don't have anything, so let's start with the wave folder. I do like the wave folder. It's a nice wave shaper. It's got a couple different features. You have different wave waveforms to choose from in terms of how you fold the sound in order to add more harmonics. And I need to turn it on and turn off the bypass. And you can definitely hear. I mean, you can definitely hear. You can definitely hear the harmonics being added and that distortion already kicking in. Let's go saturation. You have your different options for saturation. So if you want to get a vinyl effect, to create a more vintage type of sound. Tape and tube will go well. You have solid. That part is pretty straightforward. You have your overdrive. Different options: tube, dynamic, even glitch, asymmetric edge, Velcro. Let's turn the drive up. Let me pick a lead. See how well this goes with the lead. I've been playing around with some basses with this machine or with this extension. It's pretty cool what it can do with the basses. Let's see the lead guitar. That's too much. I might dial that back. Alright, let's turn it on again so we can hear the difference. Let's cut that back some. Let's see what happens. Let me add pitch shifter. Oh no. We don't want to do that. Just want to go up to 12. Let's slow it down. All right, let's add this part in real quick. Delay. That's cool. I mean, and that's a simple effects chain that you can kind of recreate with the stock devices that's in Reason already. Like I can get a actual guitar, plug it in through my interface and, get any delay that's in here and use a pitch shifter to kind of get that same effect. But what you will find, especially like for you advanced Reason users who are really like into the patch creation and the modular setup, is like these 9 different slots right here are going to just give you a slew of different ways to create, different patches right off the rip in one device. So instead of you having to use several devices, you can use one device because of these 9 slots here. You can kind of create a nice little modular setup within the device itself to get your sound, which is always cool. Let's see. Let's check out the multi-filter. filter type. Add some resonance. And then don't forget you have your mod matrix here. So you can automate a lot of this stuff in the mod matrix to just get different tones. Morphing filter. I like the morphing filter. Let's see what I can do. Let's take the LFO, put it on there. My first destination on the morph filter. I want to move around the morph Y. How much? I'm going to tone down the rate. And then over here, I want to go back. Let's see what happens with that. No. That's the speed of the LFO. I don't want to mess with that per se. What I do want to do, and I want to slow this down just a smidge. There we go. That's not bad. I want a different sound. I'm starting to get tired of the lead guitar. That doesn't really sound like a lead guitar. Let's do a pad. Alright, I don't want to be on here too long. Most of you guys can probably figure this stuff out on your own. Let's see. Let's do a complicated pad. Let me throw that in there and see how it's going to work. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Man, you can say whatever you want to about Reason. Reason makes some great sounds. That's just my opinion, but Reason makes some great sounds. Alright. I'm bypassing because I just want to hear what's doing what. Let's turn down the drive. Oh yeah. I might want to bring that more filter back in just a smidge. Turn that width down. Turn this down somewhat. Nah, but you get the drift. Like, let me bring that down just a little bit. Add some movement. Yeah, I can definitely have fun with this. Even though this sound is trash right now. Too much going on. But you can switch that out. There we go. Oh yeah, you can definitely get something going with this. I just got I just got these 4 modules working. Yeah, you can definitely get some stuff going. I would say for, the price point, I would say it's worth getting. Mind you, I haven't bothered to really play with the presets. I probably should have. I didn't even do the 808 thing in this video. Let's do that real quick. I mean, you know, obviously it's a distortion unit, so you put distortion on your basses, you're going to get that extra oomph when you put it on your 808s. But let's go back here. Let's go to the basses, and I didn't want to add another one. I just wanted to add an 808 on this one, and I'm gonna get the heck up out of here, just because you guys don't really want to hear me go through all this. That's a very powerful bass, the 808 slap. It's a very good bass. A good 808, very punchy. Now, adding the wave folder, depending on the tone you're going for, you're really going to be able to shape that sound. Now, if you're looking to take something like an 808 or like a short, punchy sound and then like really mangle it with this wave folder, it is clearly doing that. Or you could just tone it down a little bit and, add a smidge of harmonic texture without, taking away your transient. One thing to keep in mind with 808s in general, when you're doing your 808s, if you add too much distortion, you're going to kill the transients and take away some of the punch. So for me, I like to add just a smidge, because I don't want to take away the transient from the sound and take that punch away. You can always add a kick back to it or whatnot, but you don't want to add so much and have to take away and stack extra just because you added too much distortion. So just keep that in mind. But then again, in music, it's all subjective. The bit crusher is nice. I like the bit crusher. You can definitely add some punch. Depending on what you're going for. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just a lot here. It's a lot that you can do. And you get like so many patches. I don't think you're going to get bored anytime soon. Let's just put a basic FM bass. Let's see what happens. All right, I'm done. You get the drift. You can go and load up some instruments, and play with the presets. You can go and add some external ins and outs to kind of do all of this stuff. Get some fancy flexible routing going on. Is Reason. So Reason is going to implement effects and patches and different instruments in very creative ways. I would say for the price point, $50. It's not a bad deal to go ahead and get it. You certainly won't be bored. I'm not bored, but that's just me. Especially I think like once you dig into this device and like really get into all the nooks and crannies, you can really come up with some creative presets and sounds. And then keep in mind, you have the combinator, all of that stuff within Reason to like really just mangle your sound. And I say one thing about Reason and this device in general, it's like I didn't know I needed this device and I don't need it per se, but it's like they added something that's incredibly useful in my opinion, because we have the Scream, we have different effects. I'm still on Reason 12. If you're on Reason 13, you have like Ripley for the new delay. But like to have everything in one device and just the amount of stuff that you can do, It's well appreciated. Very much appreciated. And so I would say if you're a Reason user, check this device out. And, keep in mind that if you are a Reason user, you can use this in context with all of your other DAWs. So if you want to use this in Ableton, if you want to use this in FL Studio, whatever other DAW you have, there are even ways to use this in MPC software if you're using it in the controller mode, pardon me, because you can have the stuff pull up your effects. I have to do a video on that at some point to verify it. You should be able to do it. Not that the MPC software does VST3 support, but there are VSTs that will allow you to chain, VST3 plugins and use them internally. I think CushView should work for the VST3 software, but I'm not 100% certain. But there are workarounds. But yeah, man, like you can use this in context with any other plugin because Reason works as a plugin. Anyhow, thank you for watching this video. I think this is a great device. Reason, in my opinion, has done a good job. Check it out. $50 or a 30-day trial. Or if you're a subscription user, you already get it included in. Other than that, I'm about to hop off of here and I'm done. Have a good day. Peace.